Hi everyone, it's Phil here with Sarros Landscaping, and I'm just getting ready to leave the house and head out to go look at a project today. And in this project, we're going to be doing a video proposal for a client that's out of state, and they would like some artificial turf work done as well as a fence completed. But as we know with every project, we have to look at everything: drainage, erosion, site access, cables, everything. So this is going to give you a real good chance to see just what goes through my mind and how I kind of think through each step of the project. And it's not always methodical and perfect, but I have to walk these areas just to make sure I see as much as I can see so I can communicate it the best that I can. But if I were to do this just in writing, it would not have the same effect than if I take out my video camera, go out there and show it to you, the world, and to my potential client respectively. And with that, let's get this thing started. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. Let's take a look at the project and walk through it. What they would like is artificial turf. So over here on the right hand side of the house, we can see that there's a fairly steep pine straw hill at the top. So I would extend that pine straw island to the sidewalk. I'm gonna make a suggestion for some juniper plant material to go along there. Just keep it simple. I can do mix in a little bit of color at the top or at the base of the hill, but I have to bring that out to the sidewalk. That way there's a clear delineation between that house and this house. Let's talk about the tree lawn area. I grew up in Ohio, by the way. For those of you that don't know, in Ohio, the tree lawn was always called the devil strip. I don't know, just it's an Ohio thing, whatever. Okay, so I got sidetracked. Let's talk about this tree lawn area. I definitely would not replace this grass here. So where it continues to your neighbors, you've got like 5-6 feet between where this ends at this driveway. Keep that grass. We're gonna have to delete the irrigation system, so we're gonna just go in there to each valve box. We're gonna cap each zone at the valve box, and then in the front yard over here, we will replace everything with artificial turf. We will leave the proper amount of clearance around things like this. You do want to be able to access your clean out. This bed up in front is looking like the builder built it. That's a builder bed. Plant material is kind of like, you know, it could be a lot better. And this bed certainly does not need to be this deep. So we'll shorten this bed. Front yard will be taken up. We're going to excavate down about 4 inches. And we're going to put crushed stone. It's a very compactable aggregate because it has different gradations of stone. It's got large stone, small stone, all the way down to very fine stone. So when we compact it with a huge machine that we use, it gets very, very solid. This should be planted. I mean, really, it should have a retaining wall. Ideally, that's what it would have. I mean, it's just super steep. This is like 60-degree slope. And I'm afraid this is going to wash. So are they. That's why they put this jute mesh on it. Jute mesh is this rope fabric, and this rope fabric right here. So the jute mesh is designed to hold and stabilize the hillside, but it's going to wear away. The erosion netting is step one. It needs to have erosion control plants. And don't put I wouldn't want, if it were my house, I would not want to put a retaining wall in that corner. So it's best if I go out of my way to stabilize that hillside with plant material. So what happens when you plant vegetation on a steep hillside like this? Because root systems are infinite, going every different direction, intertwining with itself, and hillside will never move. And it's a tried and true method. So I gave you a lot more explanation than you probably were thinking you needed or were asking for, but I wanted to be thorough in it enough so that you understood that you do need to address this hillside, or if I put turf in here, you're gonna have so much water and stuff washing down on it, it could undermine the turf project. And I definitely don't want to do that. And I want to make this hillside look really nice. So you also asked me about a fence. This is a fence that your neighbor has. It's really nice. I like it. It's chicken wire, simple, easy to build. Right off into the distance, there's a 6-foot privacy wood dog-eared fence. So it appears to me that both are permissible. It's really your preference on whether or not you want privacy or you want to be able to see through it. I mean, the other thing that I need to do is be super cautious about boundaries here because we need to know where to put the fence. So it would make most sense to go at the top of this ridge and build a fence. It's going to be challenging here. I mean, this is steep, really, really steep. I'm going to have to dig these posts very deep because we don't want to, up there, you'd want to butt up to the neighbor, but it would be a good idea to introduce me either by phone or just give me permission to introduce myself to the neighbor once you approve this and say, okay, yeah, I'd like to do it. Please let me talk to the neighbor prior to beginning the work because neighbor relationships are one of the biggest things to maintain, especially when we're right there on the property. And rather than just start the work and shock him, and let's introduce ourselves. Let's say hello. Probably every 3 feet on center horizontally and every 2 feet on center vertically going up. Gotta blend it. Like, I need a lot of them, but I also want to balance it with budget wise too. You've got some buried cables, you've got gas lines, a couple things going on here, but that's our job as contractors. We'll call Georgia 811. The job of Georgia 811 is to mark all the underground utilities. We'll make sure those markings take place. Now the last thing, so I'm going to propose to you a fence. I'm going to propose to you the turf. You've got a tree here, which definitely builder landscape, gotta love it. When you build and you invest in a beautiful home in Georgia, you are always the lucky recipient of one tiny tree that will turn out to be way too big for your yard. And one day, if you wait, you will be looking at that. And you can pay $4,000 to have someone climb it and take it out. Or we could just move it. I'd rather give you a tree that's appropriately sized for the property, like a nice Japanese maple. That'd be beautiful. I want to give you enough plant material just up along the side of the house and just up along the front so that it looks nice. I mean, it's not just the turf. I want everything to look really nice for you. Your downspouts obviously are not piped out. It's not no builder does it, so no fault of your builder or anybody. It's no fault of anyone. But when it rains, it's going to push out a lot of water. So I've got 1, 2, 3 right here. Easily enough for me to take a pipe, go underground, and discharge that water out at the sidewalk. If there's something I haven't mentioned, it's not because there's something I haven't seen. I come out here with the notion that we're going to install turf, we're going to build a fence. But when I see the hillside, I have to address that. I see the water, how it's going to move on your property, I have to address that. I see the grade at the back where it's going to get really wet because it's almost a gully. I have to address that. So we're going to address everything, and we're going to give you a perfect installation. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's very hot out today, so I apologize for excessive sweating on camera. What's that? E-S-O-C. ESOC. Excessive sweating on camera. I suffer from ESOC. I have a lot of experience doing this. We've been in business for 20 years. This is artificial turf right here. It's meant to look like a Bermuda, like a real grass, because it has these brown thatch layers. It has a light green fiber. It has a dark green fiber. This isn't 1990s AstroTurf. This is like the real deal, and that's why we put a firm base underneath it. And that's why we take our time putting all the seams together. So anyway, we have all the right tools to do it. And that's what helps, the seams blend too over time, is foot traffic. So we want to be walked on. We want it to be used like a normal lawn. But we're going to set this project up to look amazing. And thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to being in touch with you here within the next probably 24 hours. All right, have a great day.